Hello, I'm Mike Russell from musicradiocreative.com. Well, today is the day that Adobe Audition CC has been released. I'd like to do a quick review of what's new in Adobe Audition. Take a look. Welcome to the cloud. This is Adobe Audition CC, part of the Adobe Creative Cloud package. Fantastic news is it means you get bug fixes and updates and anything that's critical as soon as they're released. Now, fantastic new features. I'm going to run you through a few of my faves. Let's drag in a voiceover. Here it is.
Music Radio Creative Podcast.
If I want to apply an effect to that, like for instance one of my favorites from the effects menu, modulation, flanger, and I click this button in the top right, I now suddenly get two waveforms. And you'll notice, if I move this out the way, they look slightly different. That's because I'm seeing a real-time preview of what my new audio will look like. I can also change it here to mirror what I'm doing upstairs, so like so, or be independent, so I can zoom in and out here but not change the preview view. And also zoom to selection will zoom right in on your new audio. I personally prefer mirrored. Now, you can see as you change the different presets, you're going to get different looks here in the waveform view, so you can really see what's going on before you apply the effect. Let's apply it.
Music Radio Creative Podcast.
And then I can switch off the preview editor by clicking here. Something I've shown you in a previous video is how to record your own favorites in Adobe Audition. Here, in the favorites menu, I've got my favorite voice filter. If I wanted to change that, I'd have to start recording a favorite all over again in previous versions of Audition. Here, I can just hit edit favorites, and it gives you a box here with all of your favorites, so I'll find voice filter just there. And then it shows me every single step in my voice filter. Much easier to change one simple effect. Like for instance, normalize. I can double click and bring up the normalize window and change it to normalize to maybe 50% instead of 98.8%, which is the way I have it usually set. Save, and it's saved straight away into your favorite. Now, I've just demonstrated the preview editor and the favorites editor. They're all very well, but what about audio production and radio imaging features? Well, one of my favorite features is back and improved. Take a look at this bit.
Podcast.
Okay, podcast. Now, this is a common feature on radio imaging. If I go into the effects menu, time and pitch bender process, it's a brand new process in Adobe Audition to bend the pitch of any audio. Let me choose one of my favorites, turntable losing power. And you'll see straight away in the preview, there it is. Now let me play back.
Podcast.
And you see it sounds like a turntable losing power. But I can draw on envelope points here and play with a turntable losing power.
Podcast.
And I can move them across and move them in and make the gliding pitch stretch faster.
Podcast.
And everything you do on the pitch bender can be seen in real time in the preview window.
Podcast.
So let's apply that effect. Next in my Adobe Audition CC review, I'd like to show you the improved Generate Noise feature. Let's create a brand new audio file. Let's go into the effects menu, generate, and not only have you got tones, you've also got noise here as well, which means you can generate different colors of noise. Brown, pink, white, and gray. Most common for that radio tuning sound effect is your white noise. Let's click OK, generate that noise. But not only have you got that fuzzy noise now, you can go into the effects menu, time and pitch bender, and who wouldn't want to do this, you can draw on a pitch bend to make your noise sound super cool. So some really cool sound design effects in Adobe Audition CC. And finally, let's take a brief look at the Multitrack, which is much improved. So I'll start a new session there and then go into my files. And the first thing you'll see is the ability to color code your different tracks. So for instance, I can make vocals red, I could make sound effects a nice color of blue, and I can make my music beds yellow. And then anything that I drag in is going to color code depending on which track you drop it into. Lovely and beautiful, isn't it? Not only that, but did you notice now when you drag sounds in, they appear straight away rather than just the orange bar as in CS6. And a final improvement of many in the Multitrack is that you can drag in multiple clips and the Multitrack will just intuitively organize them. Let me just drag in a load of audio here. Let's select all of those audio files and look at that. It's organizing them all on a single track ready to be edited. Let's drop. And then the first time I do this, Audition asks me if I want to add all the files to the same track or put them all on their own track. In this case, I'll say the same track. You can always change it later in preferences or by holding down the Option key. And there we go. All of my sound files on track 2 ready to edit. I didn't mention the spectral frequency editing, I didn't mention the frequency band splitter, the SoundCloud integration, and so much more with this new package, but I do intend to cover all of these features in more detail on my channel soon. There you go, just a brief overview of Adobe Audition CC. Some brand new features, some old school features revitalized, and a whole load of stuff I haven't even started to explore yet that's going to be great for audio production. If you'd like to watch more videos about Adobe Audition CC, hit subscribe on my channel now.